Cocaine in my nose, got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my pole, she got me locked in on cup though. Cocaine in my nose, got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my pole, she got me locked in on cup though. Got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my pole, she got me locked in on cup though. Cocaine in my nose, got rose in my cup though. Started climbing my pole, she got me locked in on cup though.
Well, good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to be back. George Morgan here at your service. It's PSGL, it's Wednesday night, it's Spain tonight as well. Lots on the table, lots of battling. The title contest is still alive and kicking. And Jack, it's only taken us 10 rounds. We're on the 11th. It's all to play for.
Boromant goes on the inside and takes the lead on the final lap of the race. Now it's side by side between Boromant and Bonnar, but Boromant's got the inside.
Star here in this phenomenal race. Cameron Dowd looking to take P2 in his very first PSGL F1 PC race. Incredible to say the least. You see that Putin to lead. 1.5 seconds. DRS is the name.
Good evening, everybody, and a very warm welcome to the opening round of Season 34 at PSGL. Welcome to the top tier on PlayStation, and the drivers are going to do a battle at one of the most iconic circuits on the PSGL calendar, Brazilian Grand Prix, first held in Formula 1 in 1973. 36 laps away our drivers. We can't wait to take you through the action. We've got new drivers, we've got returning drivers, we've got a returning commentator with myself, Jessica Bull. But joining me in the commentary box for the whole of this season, we've got Mr. James Head. James, how are you doing? And are you looking forward to season 34?
I am doing really well, Jess. Yes, season 34 is now among us here tonight in Brazil. Cannot think of a better way to get started. Delighted to be joining you in the commentary box, of course, Jess, for season 34. Can't wait to get started.
Yeah, I'm very excited to get started too, but we've got 11 races on this season's calendar. We've got obviously Brazil coming up tonight, which should be amazing, but we still got some other tracks to go through as well. We had an announcement today that Las Vegas is no more for round number 2. We've got Bahrain instead. It's going to be taking place for on the 24th of July because of the curves in Las Vegas. Maybe Las Vegas will make an reappearance later on in the season if Cody's fix the curves. Then we go to the home of British Motorsport, Silverstone, for round number 3. Round number 4, we head to one of the new circuits on the calendar, Qatar, which I commentated in a WOR social race before, and it's absolutely brilliant. I'm sure James likes that track as well. Round number 5 then takes us to Austria on the 14th of August, and then make sure you stay tuned on socials at Premier Sim GL for more information about what the remaining tracks are going to be like. So we got Brazil, we got Bahrain, we got Silverstone, we got Qatar, and we got Austria. Any tracks that stand out of the 6?
To be honest, they are all stand out, I think, to be honest. I mean, Brazil tonight, first and foremost, it is going to be a real war of attrition, I think, out there. I did the WR social race on Friday, so I know fine well what these guys are in for in terms of the racing, and we had quite a lot of action in that race as well. But looking through the other tracks as well, you wouldn't think that I live in Britain or anything because of the British flags and the British cushion in the background and the red arrows on the right hand side of me. Looking forward, of course, to the home of British Motorsport at Silverstone. Of course, that change up in Bahrain as well for round number 2. Very interesting track. Of course, that is going to be phenomenal to watch as well. Qatar, brand new track as well on the calendar. Should be very interesting to see how the racing goes on around there. Should be close-knit racing around there for sure. And then Austria. Who doesn't like Austria? I absolutely love to commentate around Austria, so it is going to be fantastic. And I cannot wait for the racing to start. The drivers are in the lobby. We've got them all in the lobby, I can report as well. A few reserves here tonight, but everything is going to go according to plan.
Hopefully, and we are about to go through the drivers that are going to be racing this season. So here are all 20 drivers that are going to be here. So in no particular order, as it says in the graphic, in the Alfa Romeos, we have Jensen and Kazizel from Team Shazoo, both in F1 last season. Jensen picking up his first win in the top tier in China with a very good strategy, and he won actually in Brazil last time out, which is the last race of the season, so a driver to watch out for. In the AlphaTauri, Aurelian and Reyes. Aurelian, of course, joined Talent Factory towards the end of last season and done very well. He's not here tonight, though. He's on holiday, so he's going to be replaced by one of the reserves. Then we got Yossi and Bradders in the Alpine. Bradders doing very well in F2 last season. In the Aston Martin, we got Nando and Morbach, both from Outplayed Racing. Nando was reserved towards the end of last season due to commitments, but glad he's back off full time. Morbach, of course, being the pad goat, and he got promoted from F3 at the end of last season, and now he is in F1. Let's see what he can do. We got Volakongen, season F2 champion of season 32, and then we got the season 33 F2 champion Jerry Van Bussel, who's won quite a lot of races this season. I'm sure James can back me up. He's done had a very great season and still got a lot to live up to. Ryan and Reiner, I can't even pronounce his name, but they're in the house anyway. And we got Kian, who's not here tonight. He's going to be alongside Ryderdow. Ryderdow, we both commentated on him on many leagues. One that I own, actually. So it's nice to see how he does in the top division. We got Markadovs, the runner-up from last season. Just missed out by, I think, a singular point. He's got redemption to his name. Then we got Stefano joining in the Mercedes. We got Max the season 33 F1 champion in the Red Bull with Marlon. And now we got Louis returning back to F2 alongside Tim. And tonight we got Luca Kart, Euron and San Gamer filling in for the 3 drivers that can't make it tonight, which is Louis, Kian and Aurelian. So what a standout grid that we have. But few drivers that catch my eye is Max, Kian, and of course we got Marcador, so maybe Jerry Van Bussel as well.
Yeah, definitely. So I think, to be honest, F1 is always the pinnacle, I think, of PSGL. It is always putting the best drivers up against each other, and this is what we've got for season 34. As you say, we've got old-timers like Jensen and Kazizel. I hope they don't mind me calling them old-timers, to be honest. They have been round the block quite a lot in PSF1. We've got, of course, new kids on the block as well. Yossi, very much a name to watch out for. He has really, really shone at the back end of the last game and going forward, of course, on this game. He's here tonight as well. Max, as you mentioned, the defending champion, cannot overlook him. Of course, all of that drama from Brazil last season and season 33 put Jensen to win his first race in PSF1. And with Max now pretty much at the forefront once again, he has got to watch out for who is going to be taking potentially his crown, because there are quite a lot are going to be chomping at the bit. You mentioned Rodadal there, brand new name. Jerry Van Bussel, can't overlook him as well. The first man, actually, to win 5 races in a row since Shazoo Tom, season 30 of F2, which Jess, you commentated on, I believe, as well. Which is, I think, just comes to show like the breadth I think we've had in terms of commentary. But what I can report is we're not going to delay a whole things anymore, because Ryan has actually just started up on a lap down and through the first couple of corners. Drivers are right on track for Q1, and that means we are going to get right into the nitty gritty here in qualifying. And I'm just going to put out a prediction right from the outset. My final point is, I'm going to say Max for pole, Yossi for second, and Jensen for third.
I was about to ask you about that, about your predictions for pole, and you beat me to it. I'm going to take my time on this and decide later on in the session, but we got some information about the track coming up. First used in Formula 1 back in 1973. The circuit was opened in May 1940. The original circuit was 7.960 kilometres, 4.946 miles long, and had 26 turns. Now, of course, it has 15 turns, and it is the Brazilian Grand Prix that we know and love today. And this is 4.309, and it has a few DRS zones to boot as well. Of course, we got the run up to turn 1, Senores. Then we got turn 4, the Cine de Largo, a very good overtaking opportunity. It's going to be an absolute classic. We've seen title deciders around here. We've seen, I think, obviously, title deciders in PSGL come down to the wire. Many drivers have won here. We've had Jensen has won, Tom as well. And there's also a certain person who was doing all the placements that's also won here. Season 26. Can you think who has won here in PSGL in his last ever F2 race?
Well, I think it might be the actual owner of PSGL. Is it Big C by any chance?
Yes, it is Mr. Big C, and it was. I think it was the last lap that he took the lead as well. So that was quite entertaining to watch. And yeah, we'll also keep an eye on the driver force as we go through the session, as Brad has set the first time on the board. Whole time we would expect for these guys will be around about the 107.0s. Maybe some drivers will get into the 106.9. In F2, it was a 107.216 was the pole time. So we'll see if anyone could beat that. We got Black Box. Nice to see Black Box up there as well. He was another one who did well in F2. And within brand new game cycle, the skill gap is not as big as it once was, like in the previous seasons, like season 28, season 29, for example, which is great to see, as we got Reiner, who has gone to the top of the standings with Yossi in P2.
Yeah, Wiener there out on top. Don't worry at all. We're going to mess that name up, I'm sure, going through tonight quite a lot of times. Yossi there in second, Black Box there in third, Brad is there in fourth as well. All Talent Factory drivers, of course, coming into tonight. And did you know as well, coming into tonight, that the combined grid here tonight have had a combined win ratio of 82 wins in total, 173 podiums between our 25 drivers, including reserves, coming into this season as well, which I think just absolutely brings about the talent that we've got, I think, on the grid and how far they've come throughout the session as well. Because this is like jumping into third as well, the Shazoo man. Max hasn't gone onto lap just yet. He's actually coming through the middle second, the defending champion coming through now. Oh, very, very close, coming out of Vika Tapato now at turn number 10. and then in toward Magulio at turn number 11. The Red Bull looking very much on edge, I've got to say, through this middle sector as he now comes through the middle sector. 50.9 in the middle sector compared to what Yossi and Wiener were doing, 50.7. Max is off the pace early on, and he could be looking around your own Jensen Stefano. That sort of area. We'll see what Max can do on the run toward the line. He is the defending champion for a reason. Is he going to go to the top step? He probably won't, and actually drops behind Ryan, down in 11th position, a 107.7. And if I was in Max's shoes right now, I wouldn't be feeling too confident.
No, I think obviously Max didn't have a good qualifying in the first round last season. He qualified third, I believe, but he still went on to win the race. So anything can happen in terms of Max. The most difficult corners on this circuit is definitely towards Ferradura, turn 6 and 7, which is what Nando is going through right now. They have to balance their speed and grit and avoid running right through there as well. Bico de Paso, quite difficult, hard braking and late turning, and a very sharp apex coming up as well. Nando goes towards the final sector. Now he got used to a new rig for a few races last season, but let's hope he's got used to it at the moment. Past Jung Sao, heading towards the final corner he comes. Start, finish straight. He's got to gain as much speed as he possibly can. He's going to get some nice slipstream for the Ferrari. Is it going to be pole? 107.5 only puts himself into P6. The top 15 separated by less than about 5-6 tenths, which I have to say is absolutely insane. And the fastest first sector does belong to Nando, actually, so he is looking very quick. And then P3 at the moment, Moore Barrett, has got the fastest middle sector, 33.878, so he's got some time to find there as well. And I have to say, my favourite part of the circuit has to be Ferradura. That is, I have to say, quite incredible to watch people try to overtake there if they can and go side by side. I thought my monitor turned off there, but luckily it didn't. It's all good. I had a little bit of a panic, but we're absolutely fine. Congan, I'm surprised to see him P17 right now. I'm guessing he's just getting a feel of the car as he's passed turn 5, heading towards turn 6 now of Ferradura. Sweeping left-hander, goes to a downhill section coming up and heading in towards turn 7 of Landagina. I can't even say it, so I'm just going to call it turn 7. And then past through turn 8 and turn 9 of... Now, I'm not going to say some of the corner names because it's hard to pronounce. So I'm just going to call it turn 9 and turn 10 or whatever. So past Bico de Pato, heading towards Jung Sao now of turn 11. And Bolakonga's got a lot to live up to. Has improved a lot at the end of last season. He has also picked up at least one win to his name and a few podiums as well. And obviously with the equal tyre wear now in force on this game, let's see what he can do. Only 7th fastest, 107.5, James.
Yeah, 7th for the race winner in Hungary last season as well. And I believe he made 33 laps that day in Hungary as well, from a very much an interchangeable race from a set of inters to a set of drives. Made 33 laps somehow work. I do not know how. There was a comment actually from Nada there in the chat saying Bola Kongan is the king of all kings. He's one of the bosses in my national league and have a huge hope for him tonight. Currently in 7th position, I'd be feeling very confident if I was a Bola Kongan fan right now. Tim, by the way, also went 3rd position, one of the 8 outplayed racing drivers that we've got here in PSGL F1 this season. You would say it's an outplayed racing takeover, but then again, I looked at F2 and they didn't have as many drivers in F2. Rodadell's just backed off his lap as well. Sam Gamer is coming through the first sector. I believe he's making his debut actually here tonight in PSGL F1, just getting out of the way on the right-hand side. Mercedes and the Alpine on the right-hand side. He is a reserve, of course, coming into tonight. The Canadian coming through now, the right-hander of turn number 8, and then through Pinheiro with turn number 9, and then in towards Duckbill corner at turn number 10 of Bico de Pato. That is the English translation. Do not ask me where I found the English translations for these corners. Through Mercurio at 11, and then in towards Jun Sao at turn number 12, and Sam Game is actually just backed off his lap, 52.9 in the middle sector. Just seeing if there's anybody preparing. Jensen is preparing up for his lap. Jerona's just started one. There's
Should
not
we go on
many
board with a
drivers
lap?
out there. We can do.
Yeah, I think we should go on board with Jensen as he starts his lap around the Bazine Grand Prix. Let us take you through a hot lap around the first race of the season 34 calendar. Past turn 1 now. CNRS named after Brazil's legendary driver Ayrton Senna. Past the Curva do Sol now, and you're going to be heading towards this DRS straight. Full power goes Jensen in the Alfa Romeo and heading towards his prime overtaking spots. Cecina Largo, turn 4, fast left-hander, brake light in, turning early, aiming for a smooth exit. Past in, going up the hill, heading towards turn 5 and 6 of Ferragura, keeping the cars close to the right as you can. Then move close to the left as he heads towards turn 7 and 8. Another fast right-hander, which leads to another downhill section, then goes up the hill once again through turn 8 and 9. Oh, he's backed off his lap. So the curse, unfortunately, continues. That every time I try to commentate on a lap, someone bins it or invalidates. Stefano is on a lap at a similar point, so let's hope he doesn't bin it this time as he heads towards the same part of the track. No, he does not. That is great to see. Great to see him back in PSF1 this season, as he was expecting to score as many points as he can this season. And it's a track that he doesn't love, he doesn't hate, but he's expecting a top 10 finish. And one of his rivals for this season is his own teammate, and that's more Borak. So he wants to beat his own teammate from Outplayed Racing and in the Constructors as well, which could mean anything right now as he slots into 10th fastest. But I think he's the outlier in terms of who their biggest rivals are. A majority of drivers have said their biggest rivals is themselves.
Yeah, which I think is speaking about more mentality, I think. And mentality is really important. By the way, the top two are separated by 0.02 of a second. Both Alpines, Brothers and Yossi, out on top there, first and second. But driver's mentality is so key coming into a race. It's the first race of the season. You want to be making an impression. And if you come into the season thinking that you're not going to do well, then what's the point in even being in PSGL F1, to be honest? You've got to be really on, I think, the limit in terms of your mentality, in terms of the physicality as well that these drivers are going to be showing out on track. Yossi there in second, Bradders in first, currently at the top of their game. But if you are thinking about mentality and looking through in terms of the racing out on track, it is going to be fantastic to watch out for. And hopefully, drivers do not get into their own mentality thinking they're their own rival, because that's the worst possible thing you can do. You've got rivals out on track. Don't make it personal between the drivers, and hopefully it is going to be rewarded in terms of the racing that we've got out on track. Wiener's just started up on a lap as well as Marquez goes quickest by considerable margin, 0.08 of a second, up 0.3 improvement actually from the Mercedes there. So the OP man, the newly crowned OP man, I've got to say, out on top from Brothers in second, Yossi there in third. We've got about 4.5 minutes, I think, to go in the session. I'm just trying to see if there's anybody else on the lap at this stage. Marlon has spun, coming out of the Cedar Lago at turn number 4. He has lost his left side end plate, I think, on the car. So Marlon there down in 14th position, not the great start that the VIR team would be wanting, but there's only 0.5 per second covering the whole field. So there we are.
I think that just goes to show that the placements, even though it was very hard for the likes of Louis and Con to put together, it is close. And if you want to be in PSF1, you've got to beat the best, and you've got to be as close as you can to the best times. And I think literally any one of these drivers could get pole today. And this is a track where qualifying doesn't prove to be as important as other tracks on the calendar. I think there was one race I commentated at where Fabi got his first win of his championship winning season in F2. And he didn't win in the entirety of the season. And when it counted, he came from lower down the grid and he went on to win the race. So it's still possible. We could see safety cars. That can change things quite dramatically as well. I don't think red flags were enabled in this league, I don't think. So I don't think that will come into effect. And of course, 13th of the last 21 Brazilian Grand Prix has featured a safety car, so it is quite common. Don't know what it is in relation to PSGL. I think we should try and get that fat, I think, in terms of F1. I might try and do that as my research going into the next race, which is Bahrain. Let us know in the chat, as we got 3 minutes and 55 seconds to go of qualifying. Who do you think is going to be in pole position, and who do you think is going to win this race? Let's see who's going to get pole and what time you think as well. Can anyone get into the 1:06s? We'll have to wait and see. Jerry Van Bussel is going to go into the pit, and so is Sam Gamer, I believe, as well, which gives me a good opportunity to talk about certain drivers' thoughts. Let's go and speak to a driver that I have not commentated on. I'm trying to see if I can find Ryder Dow's notes. Oh, there we go. So Ryder Dow is super happy to be in F1, being able to compete with the fastest guys in PS. Well, sometimes people hate it, but for Ryder Dow, people flourish it, and he's very excited. And he doesn't like any of the tracks. And he's probably relieved that Las Vegas is off the calendar, because that was a track that he hated. And he's not sure who his rival was. And for today in Brazil, he's going to hope for some good points, and he's going to hope for the top 10 at the end of the championship, which is to be fair, if we've seen his pace in the social race, that is a realistic goal for Ryder Dale, because I've seen some great performances in PSGL and WOR races recently as well, as he's going to be the first driver to set his final lap potentially of the session. Jensen is as well. Everyone else is going to be on outlaps. We've seen in the past though, James. Oh, what's happened?
Ryder Dale's actually backed off coming through the first couple of corners. This will be known as a down lap, I think, for Ryder Dale. So he'll be saving up his ERS, saving up his fuel. He's got a high fuel load, so he's actually going to go for 2 runs.
That does make sense. We saw George Russell do that as Arona's got disqualified from the session from blocking the pit lane. So he must have hit the wall of some sort. So he's going to be starting from dead last. And I think Jensen's going to be doing a banker lap as well, just like Ryder Dale. So, yeah, maybe that will help warm the tyres a little bit. That surely suggests not many people are going to be starting on the softs. They may be starting on the medium tyres, but they may want to save a set of softs for the end of the race, just in case we get a late safety car. Now, I've got my telemetry open as well today, so we can see if people are up or down on their times currently, as Markados, I believe, is he on a valid run? Yes, he's about to start one now, heading towards turn 1. Yossi, by the way, has set purple final sector on his out lap, which was very, very great to see, so he's got some time to find. And purple first sector for OP Ryan in the Haas. That's not what we were expected to see. We'll see how he does in the middle sector. Struggle a little bit. Oh, he's got past some traffic. Oh, and he's been hitting the wall and he's out of the session.
No, and that's coming through Junsau at turn number 12 as well, and that is the worst point you can catch traffic around here. Yossi, by the way, 10th up, he's just coming through the first couple of corners actually to set up on his lap. Markados actually was purple in the first sector, 16.708 through the first sector. Ryan looking pretty good up until that point as well, but here is Markados coming through now the left-hander from McGeely Owen towards Junsau at turn number 12, and a 50.5 in the middle sector is absolutely lightning quick from the OP man, formerly of TF10, of course, now part of OP, looking to try and put it on the line. Through the bit of those boxes at 10.14. Now on the run through. Archibald Carlos at 10.15. Markados on the run to the line. Is he going to go quickest?
Wow.
Yes, he does. Barely improves, though. Only 11/100ths of a second found. Brad is invalid through the first sector. Yossi is up, I believe, in the first sector. We'll see what the Talent Factory man is doing at this stage as Black Box moves himself up in 6th position as well, so good luck from him. Yossi in the middle sector, 50.6. We're slightly down in the middle sector of Markados. If he can get a very good run and really power to the car up the hill, coming out of 14 and 15, he can try and make up the time here as he now comes through with the timer now ending out of the session. Yossi in the next one to come across the line, and Talent Factory man, does he go quickest? No. Finds the time though, 107.290, not a bad lap there at all. Wiener's backed off his lap. Nando barely to the line, barely improved on his lap as well. Black Box has backed off. There's quite a few invalidations out there, I've got to be honest.
And that's including our F2 champion from last season, Jerry Van Bussel. He's invalidated and he's down into 18th spot, so he's not going to be able to improve. More Borat, he's going to come across the line. Is he going to find some time? He's only in P9, so he does not improve. So just like there's a Sam Gamer who's going to come up the line. I think Sam Gamer is getting very quick. He's purple in the first sector, James. So that's going to be interesting. He hasn't improved in the middle sector, but the final sector is what makes or breaks you. Is he going to go for pole? Third place for the reserve driver, Sam Gamer, on his first race of PSGL. That is amazing. Same lap time compared to the likes of Yossi. And I thought Braz and Rena had the same lap time, but they didn't, as a few people had just backed off. Ryder Dale's backed off too. So that is it then. Markados is on pole for today's Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Yossi in second, Sam Gamer in third, Brad is in fourth. The next F1 driver after Markados from last season is Nando. All the rest are either new drivers or from F2 and F3 from last season. It shows the skill gap is not as huge as we once thought.
Definitely not, and it comes to show how drivers have really grown on this game as well. New handling model, new tyre model as well, really thriving. Markados, you remember at the back end of last season, he was absolutely flying toward the back end of the PSF1 season. Yossi, brand new name on the game to me, certainly. I first commentated him, I think, in Saudi Arabia, WOR. And he's now second in PSGL and setting the same time as Sam Gamer, who is a debutant as well. That's mad.
That is crazy. Nice to see people that are new to the tier as well, not that their first season in PSGL entirely, come in and show the other drivers what they're made of. And obviously we got the returners as well, but nice to see the ones who were in F2 climb up the ranks as well, and maybe they get their best result in F1 as well. Maybe they could do a max potentially. So we've got Markados from Yossi, Sam Gamer, Bradders, Wiener, Nando, Black Box, Luca Kart, Tim, Morbrakia top 10, and we got Ryan Kazidel, Ryder Doubt, Stefano, Volakongan, Max down in 16th, our reigning champion. Well, he's not had a very good qualifying session. He's got a lot to live up to compared to the race. And then we've got Marlon, Jerry Van Bussel, Jensen, and obviously Jerome, who got disqualified for blocking the pit lane. So before we head to the main action, let's have a quick word from our sponsor, GT Omega. We'll see you in 30 seconds. And welcome back to PSGL PSF1, round number 1, as we head to Interlagos for the Brazilian Grand Prix. And it is Markados, our runner-up from last season, that has took pole position for today's race. And there's certain drivers that want to start their season on a high note. 36 laps await our drivers, and at a race distance at 152 kilometres. That record set by Valtteri Bottas back in 2018 with a 1 minute 10.540. Last race in PSF1 was pretty much carnage when we got to lap 1. A lot of championship contenders got knocked out, including Tom, one of our reserve drivers this season, and that allowed Max to win the title, even though he got knocked out. But no blabbling about, the 5 red lights are coming on for the first race at PSGL season 34 is a go. A good start from Yossi actually, and Markados, they head their way towards turn number 1. Could be 3 wide, but Markados comes him off. Sam Gamer has got a lightning start. Oh, and he touches Markados. No. Sam had a lightning start to begin with. He's dropped all the way down into last place. And there's 3 cars. Oh, God. Oh, my God. There's a lot of cars that have gone off in the first set already, and we thought that season 33 was chaotic enough. Wow. What is it about Brazil and PlayStation top tier, James? What's going on?
It is unbelievable, and unlike on the top left-hand side of your screen, it's actually a safety car out on track. The safety car is literally just coming out of the pit lane right now, so we are under safety car conditions on lap 1 immediately, and it's almost happened immediately as well. Remember season 33? We had absolute carnage back then. Season 34, exactly the same. Cannot catch a break, it seems, here in Brazil, but the safety car is out on track. Sam Gamer had a lightning start off the line. He absolutely flew, but it was around the outside of the Mercedes of Markados through turn number 1. Unfortunately, he just went so far wide out of turn number 1. He was pretty much blindsided by Markados on the outside. Markados, unfortunately, getting caught on the right-hand side end plate. Sam Gamer, unfortunately, out of the race. Don't know what happened with Tim, Yossi, and Nando. I was so slow to the camera angle, but I didn't see what happened. But it was absolutely carnage in the midpoint. Marlon got affected. Black Box certainly got affected by that as well. Jeroen certainly down a few positions, but there are many drivers into the pit lane, including Mubarak, who might have got actually caught up in that incident as well. Luca Kart is in, Jensen in, Jeroen in, Black Box in. Sam Gamer, very fortunate. He's on a set of mediums, and he's still in the race. He's still in P12. And also, set of soft compound tyres. That man in P9, Max Grosspointner, the defending champion, on a set of softs. Watch out for him in this race.
Yes, indeed. And we've seen, I think, in general around Brazil, if there's an early safety car, we've seen the likes of Jensen maybe go on to a set of mediums now and then going on to another set of mediums at the end, and it works wonders. We've seen that in many races in a general in this tier as well for a safety car on lap 1. So I think we could expect I'm surprised not many people have done so and gone onto a set of mediums, because they do have 2 sets of mediums. One set of mediums can last half race distance comfortably, so I'm a bit shocked, but I'm guessing they want their tyres to be as durable at this moment in time. And I'm just trying to think, has there been any clean starts in PlayStation on PSGL today? I don't know, but there's quite a lot of tiers that had dirty starts in that one anyway, so it might just be a PlayStation thing. But anyway, Markados is leading, Wiener in P2, Bradders in P3. Let's see who else has gained quite a few positions as well from the start. See Jerry Van Bussel up to 8th. He avoided all the carnage too. Black Box is down into 17th, but obviously a few of the guys have pitted too as well. It's either going to be hards to mediums or soft to mediums for a lot of these drivers, or maybe medium for the ones who pitted earlier on as well. Some people will probably go on a 2-stop strategy. Now, you know, James, that fact I said about a safety car being very likely around here? The highest number of safety car periods in one race at this track is 5. Can you guess what year that was?
Oh,
Don't look at the notes, because I've written it down.
Season. I'm not even looking at the notes.
And no, it's real life, not PSGL.
Oh, real life. 2021?
Nope.
2003?
Nope. I think it was only 2. I think it was only 2. If someone could put it in the chat what they think without Googling, that will be amazing. But yeah, the safety car periods in one race at this track is 5. As Nando's left the session because obviously he has retired. I think there's going to be a lot of stewarding reports, I think, after this. And if any of you said 2016, you are correct. I can't remember what happened in that 2016 race, but yeah, there were 5 safety cars in 2016. I think there was 2 or 3 in 2022, where we saw George Russell win that race as well, and he really controlled that restart. And guess who's in the Mercedes in P1 in Brazil? And that is Markados. So that is history maybe repeating itself right now, but he could be in trouble in this race, because obviously he may be involved with himself and Sam Gamer incident, but we'll have to wait and see, as we're about to start lap 4 of 36 currently as well. Let's get a few driver thoughts as well, because we've got a few quieter moments as well. Stefano likes Qatar as a track, and Jensen likes Brazil. Well, Jensen at the moment, where is Jensen on track? He's going down in 13th. He's gained 6 places, so I can tell why he likes Brazil. He likes Silverstone as well, believe it or not. Borat likes Qatar and Austria. Jerry Van Bussel likes Vegas. Well, he's going to be disappointed that Vegas is no longer on the calendar anymore. Markados likes Brazil and Silverstone. Already likes Silverstone. Silverstone is a really common theme, and I can see why. Silverstone with the new handling is a lot better. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we go to Silverstone in a few weeks' time, but I can see why people are looking forward to that track later on in the season.
Yeah, definitely so. I'm looking through some of the comments there as well. Will Murdoch apparently got 2016 right. I do not believe that for 1 second. I know for a fine fact he Googled that. Looking through as well, Lifeboat saying restart. I mean, to be honest, with the Markados...
it was worse last season. It was worse last season. There was like 5-6 cars out.
It was so much worse last season. So much worse. And I watched that race back actually a little bit earlier on, and it was so much worse compared to what we've had so far tonight. Looking through the chat, though, Parody saying Verstappen spun and kept it on track in that year. Yes, he did. He won in the wet that year as well in 2016. Famous overtake around the outside of turn number 3. Safety car, however, is going to be coming in this lap, so back into the 7 racing world, back to Markados, who is now the virtual Burt Malander. He's now the virtual safety car, and he can dictate the pace however he likes. Wiener there in second, Bradders there in third, are going to be really chomping at the bit. We are going to get, hopefully, our first lap worth of actual full action out on track, which I really hope we are going to get, and no safety cars are going to come our way for the rest of the race. But when is Markados going to decide to go? Maybe into the... Archibald Carlos, he goes now actually in towards Archibald Carlos at turn 15. Wiener already caught up on the back foot, but he is going to gain that speed down the straight. And look at Kazizel on the back of Rotterdam in towards turn number 1 as well. The Alfa Romeo down the inside on McLaren, trying to hang it to the inside on the Shazoo man, on the TF10 man. TF10 man just about hangs on through the centre S. Great job by Rotterdam. Gets back through and he's into fourth. Kazizel will have to run down the Retroposter in towards the Cida de Lago. Max already up gaining position. Jerry Van Bussel caught up in an instant, I think, as well. And there's 3 wide in the background. Jerry Van Bussel isn't amongst that as Sam Gamer goes around the inside again, but he's caught up in another spin. He can't learn his lesson from earlier on. Jerry Van Bus and Volakongan, the two Ferraris are now side by side up the hill. Last time two Ferraris were side by side. Vettel and Leclerc famously making contact in 2019, but luckily they've got away with it. In towards Ferragura as Jensen has tapped the back end of Marlon, and Marlon unfortunately has been spun right at the top of the hill. Marquez leads, Wiener in second, Brad is there in third, but great battle between Radadal and Kazizel further down.
I have to say, that was very good from Ryderdow, showing the old guard what they're made of, and already up into fourth on a set of those hard compounded tyres. And looking between the hards and the mediums, about 7/10 difference in between them as well. So it will come down to setups in comparison to Brada and Ryderdow, as Max getting past Stefano before the DRS zone, and DRS not even activated yet. And we also got another battle in front as well, as we got Kazizel trying to go and defend from Ryan, it looks like, heading in towards the center S, but Kazizel keeps ahead for now. But Ryan likes his track too, and he's going to gain a slipstream past Kerber de Sar, heading towards the Cedar de Largo now, in and towards turn number 4. Let's see what he could do. No, he's going to stay behind very, very shortly. Max is catching ever so slightly. We've seen in many other social races in other leagues. The softs don't last very long around here, but longer than previous games, around 14 laps. So people can go on for. I think it was Lars, one of our reserve drivers, lasted 14 laps around the softs, which that is crazy, I have to say. I'm surprised he didn't even get a puncher going into that, as we're seeing a lot of close shaves going past into the final sector, coming up through these twisty section, which can be quite tricky as well. Max needs to gain as many positions as he can in order to climb his way through the field. Don't forget, in this league, top 10 score points. First place gets 16 points to their name. So second place gets 12 points as well. And it goes all the way down to 1. So it is quite tight in this grid, as I believe Jensen gets past Jerry Van Bussen again, up into 10th spot. As we can see, one of the Mercedes getting past Volakonga and heading towards turn 2 and past the Kerber de Sol now. Stefano's up to 8th now.
And Wiener for the race lead as well, right on the back of Marquez. He's not going to go for the move, though, towards the inside line, down the retro poster. Somebody is, though. That's Volakonga around the outside of Stefano, trying to now gain the position back of Stefano, but Stefano leaves the door shut, and look at who that is waltzing through. That's Jensen now around the outside, in towards Ferragura, tries to go all the way around, and he does! Jensen through, 2 for 1. How about that? You buy one, you get one free. Jensen through, and he's into 8th position, now hunting down Max Closeport, now the champion from last season. Fantastic move by Jensen, fantastic reactionary timing. That is what we do here in PSF1. Brilliant stuff from Jensen. As the 3 wide in the background, actually your own. How on earth they've got through there without causing incident, I do not know. Luca Carter around the outside of Magulio at turn number 11. It's 3 wide in towards Junsao. Mubarak involved in this as well. Luca Kart, Black Box all involved. 2x2 like Noah's Ark. They come up the hill. Wiener's catching Marquez for the race lead as well. But there's so much action happening further down. Max on the back of Ryan. And actually the race lead is going to change, because there goes Wiener to the inside line. In towards turn 1. I can't keep up with this. Wiener leads. Marquez second. Brothers in third. Remarkable racing. And Volakonga and Jerry are side by side coming through the centre S. And now, look at who that is arriving on the scene. Max the pad go to Mubarak around the outside, trying to dice to the inside as well, and this is another 2 for 1 deal that Mubarak's going to save it, and Mubarak through, and he's into 10th. Lovely stuff.
And don't forget, James, as well, this game has made it better for the power drivers using the precision drive technology. So Mubarak's finding it a little bit more bearable, and he has been loving this game. And we're still seeing Luca Karts trying to go for a move, and we got Max and Ryan trying to go for a move as well. Max to the inside of Ryan as he heads towards turn 8 and 9, I believe. I'm trying to keep track with the turn numbers, but Max doing a great job on those soft tyres too. And we're seeing a lot of 2 into 1, it looks like, as well. So people are being very brave. But don't forget, in F122, you can't do moves like that. It will send you into a spin. On F123, these guys could be a bit more ambitious, and they can go percent and they can make it work. But don't do what you do on lap 1, because that could be absolutely chaos, actually. Max trying to go for another lunge then. Heading towards turn 1. To the outside he goes, through the centre S. Can he keep it on the line this time? Doesn't look like it, as Max is up to 6th place. Ryan has trying to defend off Jensen, it looks like, as well in the background. Luca Carter's spun, it looks like, in the background. That's what the yellow flag is for. He's down into last place out of all the finishers. Jensen, what a cracking move through to see the log of turn 4. Now going up the hill towards turn number 5 on the mediums, and now he's going to chase down Max for P6.
Yeah, and that incident further down the field was the two AlphaTauris getting caught in each other. Black Box and Luca Kart getting caught in each other. One hit, the first rule of racing is don't hit your teammate. That's what they've done through turn number 1 and 2. Jeroen's trying to hang it all the way around the outside of Volakongen in towards Biko to Pato at turn number 10. And the McLaren gets his duckbill out and gets the move done. That's Jeroen doing his in for 11th, Volakongen in 12th. Jerry now down at 13th. He started, of course, underneath the safety car, I think in P10, so he's dropping down the field quite rapidly throughout this early stages of the race. Mubarak there on the back of Stefano as well. We're only a quarter ways distance, and I think we've had about as much action as you'll get in a full season worth of racing around here in Brazil. It is brilliant stuff. Stefano now on the back of Ryan in towards turn 1, not going to close up, and I think we're going to remain as we are coming through the centre S, but brilliant action. Wiener leading the way. Marcos in second, Brad is there in third as Luca Clark picks up a 5-second penalty. There's Jensen on the back of Max, actually, to the outside line down the Retro Posta in towards the seat of Delago, and Jensen trying to now go past Max down the outside line in towards turn number 4. He hangs this around the outside. It'd be worth this move. Max to the inside line. They're not going to give this up in towards Ferrajua. Has to now subside as Jensen gets the job done. He's through and he's into 6th. But all of that battling has now put them outside of DRS.
Yeah, but that is not the ideal situation for Jensen and Max, because if they keep squabbling like that, of course they're going to be out of this DRS train, but he's got to find a 10th in order to do so, and then he'll be back in it again, and it's his own team, and surely Cazidor can help Jensen get in this little DRS train, because it's not just about the drivers this season as well, it's about the constructors, and just like that, Jensen is within DRS range, so he's managing his mediums really, really well indeed, as Wiener still leads by 4/10 of a second. We'll see if Marcos could challenge as well. Lots of yellow flags going off, which I think Sam Gamer off a little bit as Stefano gets past Ryan up into 8th place. Let's see if there's any more action happening in the background. That's more Borat. Can he make the move stick? That was very close as Ryan tried to say, no, you're not getting that position, my friend. He's in 9th spot. That was very tight. Montbrat may challenge once again. He will have the DRS, and we're looking at the energy saving technology. We're seeing a lot of people running out already. I'm seeing Ryan's light flashing a lot, and so is the other drivers, and we've seen in other social races, energy saving is not just important for the racing, it's important for the tyres as well. If you use too much ERS, your tyres are not going to be that good.
Yeah, definitely not. And I was actually going to come on to that because Max is certainly struggling in terms of his softs. They're already beginning to go past the tyre life. I saw with Lars, certainly in terms of the racing in WOR in that social race. He only lasted 14 laps, one lap 11. So Max is going to be coming in the pit lane probably in the next 3 or 4 laps or so, and he is going to lose time. If he's not careful, he's going to have Stefano, Ryan and Mubarak all over the back of him, potentially even down in towards turn number 1 on this occasion around. Jeroen catching Mubarak quite quickly as well, running down the straight through Alkiban Carlos now in towards the turn number 1 at the centre S, and Jeroen is catching Mubarak very quickly indeed towards the inside line. The McLaren goes adjacent to the pit wall. Mubarak actually goes down the inside line, and Ryan in the end might try and pull this off. The OP man against his fellow teammate, trying to go around the outside, and now Jeroen could get the 2 for 1 once again. Now on the back, running down the straight in towards the right-hander, the turn number 4, but I don't think he's going to get the job done. Jeroen on the back, he's not going to go around the outside there, and he's not going to get the move done. So it's Ryan there in 9th, Jeroen there in 10th, Mubarak there in 11th, and looking through the comment section, Alex the G is putting some very, very good puns together. I will rate that completely, as Wiener goes very deep, actually, in towards turn number 7 at Ferrajua, just brings Marcos into play.
Marcos could still win this one as well. He won on track in the last race of the season, but due to penalties, it allowed Jensen to take the win as well. So Marcos and Jensen have pretty much, they're on a high from the last race of the season in season 33. So they got a lot to live up to currently, as DRS train starts to decrease a little bit, as Marcos is now within 2/10 of Wiener. He's going to get the lead down the inside of the start-finish straight. He comes in, he's going to try and hold it, keep holding it. He's going to leave the space, and the cameraman is not doing a great job because the camera is stupid. But anyway, Marcos takes the lead. Ryan and Jeroen are going to go at it once again, almost being pushed off the track, and he does! Jeroen, he's just about avoided the wall there. That was very, very close. Don't unsafe rejoin, please, Jeroen. No, he doesn't. That's all good. But he's now down to 15th place out of the points. Borat now gets past Ryan in towards turn 4 to see the Largo. But Ryan's had none of that. Could he get past this turn 6 of Ferrajura? Nope, he stays behind. It's getting a bit overcast at the moment, but it's starting to heat up a little bit in terms of tyre temperature, so we'll see what they could do there. And I think we're going to start to see the mediums starting to wear off very, very soon, but the softs will start to wear off even more. And I'm very impressed with how Max is still holding on those softs, but he's got a lot of ground to make up. Stefano is catching, and he's catching quick, so I think Max is going to pit first, and then if I was a betting man on who out of the mediums is going to pit first, I would say I'm going to go with Black Box. I would say Black Box are going to be bold and go for an undercut strategy, but they may be wanting for an early safety car. As Volagongan, by the way, tries to get the last point from Ryan through the centre exit. Past the Curva del Sol now. There he goes, up to 10th.
Yeah, nice job indeed. IFR Milan there saying James' lead commentator is what you love to see. I'm not lead commentator. I'm co-comms here tonight alongside Jess. But we are bouncing off each other very well, I've got to say. Ryan on the back of Volagongan, as you mentioned there, 10th and 11th position. Marquinhos, though, leading the way. He is now getting pressure, though, from Wiener in behind. But look at the ERS management that we've got. New feature as well for F123, where it says medium, above where the ERS percentage is, that is the level of fuel that they're actually running right now at this stage. So if you didn't know that and didn't know what that feature was, you've just learnt it from me. As Rodadal gets moved on Bradders, who was very deep actually in towards turn number 10 at Pico de Pato. Rodadal now gets the job done. The TF10 man, former, of course, NLR man, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. He's there into third, Bradders there in fourth, Kazissel there in fifth, and Jensen now on those mediums beginning to come right into play as well, running down the straight in towards turn number 1. It's Marquinhos from Wiener, from Rodadal, the top 3. But look at Mubarak once again on the back of Stefano, pretty much adjacent towards the pit wall. He goes for the inside line in towards turn 1. The Aston Martin on the Mercedes looks the inside line, gets the job done. Beautiful stuff by Mubarak. The sun glazing in the glinting eyes of the Aston Martin, and that is the Mubarak, and that is the pad go through. And he's into 8th position as Jensen is hunting down Kazissel. And you know how I like these two to battle, and I really want them to battle, even though they're in the same team. Oh, was that very deep? Actually, Wiener has a big lag spike in the end is in second, but his connection does not do him many favours.
And no, that almost costed Ryder and Bradders to have some issues as well, and I think he had trouble in the start as well. I could see him lagging in the safety car restart, so if I was Wiener, you got to sort out your connection, my friend, because otherwise you could spell disaster for some of the drivers as well. And obviously, I believe they have done speed tests, hopefully, but surely it's one race. It might be just those of people using the internet this day. It might be better later on, but these two, I think, in the Alfa Romeo can't afford to squabble too much. It is the first race of the season, so they can afford to go hard but fair racing anyway, but they don't want to lose too many points early doors. But here comes Jensen then as he goes down the inside already past Kazissel. And there he goes up into 5th place, doing a stellar job on those medium tyres. Don't forget, he was one of the drivers, I believe, who pitted under that safety car onto a set of medium tyres. He started on the hards. He's got another set of mediums to use as well. So he's pretty much on a similar strategy as the top 4, but he's on a softer tyre now. But those tyres are going to start to wear off in a few laps that time, so he's got to be careful. His next target is Bradders now for 4th. If he doesn't get past soon, he is going to be, I think, scuffed compared to everybody else. 112.2 was his last lap, which was Jensen. And P4 Bradders, 112.207. So they're pretty much even on the pace, which is what I like to see. So Jensen is not dropping off that much, which strongly suggests the mediums are doing very good around here.
They definitely are, and there's a lot of ERS conservation going on right now from certainly the top 2, Marquinhos and Wiener. Wiener's got pretty much a full amount of battery. Marquinhos is about 14% less than him on 87% right now. Rydal on 50%, Bradders on 89%. So there's a lot of ERS conservation, and Bradders is trying to get on the back of Rydal, running down the straight through Ikeban Carlos now in towards turn number 1 at the centre S, but he's not going to get the job done. Somebody that might, there was Mubarak on the back of the defending champion of Max, pulls the inside line in towards turn 1, and he is so late on the brakes. That is one characteristic of the pad technology that is brought into play on this game. You can brake so later compared to the guys on wheel, and Mubarak is through. Has made Max look like a very ordinary driver there, let's be honest. He's through and he's into 7th. Aston Martin ahead of the Red Bull. The Red Bull's still not pitting in. He can go on a set of medium compound tyres. His best bet is to try and last as long as possible, I think, on those set of softs. If he lasts as long as possible on those set of softs, he can then transition to heavy anyone who run a set of hards and then be on the same strategy as them and then have a chance to fight in the second half of the race as well. Parody's there asking us in the chat, wait a second, a duo called Jesse and James. Jesse and James, do either of you have a cat called Meowth? No, sorry, unfortunately we don't, but if you want us to get one, we can. Marquinhos leads, Wiener in second, Rydell in third, as we have now got pretty much through the halfway stage here of the Brazilian Grand Prix, but still plenty of action to come.
Indeed as well. And if you want to check out some lovely chairs or some lovely equipment as well, make sure you check out our sponsor, GT Omega, where you could get 5% off GT Omega products by using the code PSGL at checkout, as we're seeing some lovely moves going on in the background as Rydell trying to defend off Brad is heading towards the Curbo do Sol now, and now heading towards the DRS straight for the 18th time today. Brad is going to be using his ERS to perfection here. Going to Desir de Lago. Is he going to go down the inside potentially? Nope, he is not. He is playing it safe currently. So I think he's probably going to wait for the potential pit stops. We're seeing early pitters already. Morborak is in, Max is in, unsurprisingly. Black Box is in. Bolakongan pitted, was the first one to pit. I'm not surprised because in PSGL F1 last season, he was usually either the first or the last to pit. He was nowhere near the middle. So he's in 30th at the moment, but he's going to try and undercut everybody with how short the track is. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, as I was saying, make sure you check PSGL at GT Omega sponsor and go !GT Omega for more information. And the command is on your screen right now if you want to check. One final plug of our sponsor a little bit later on, but we got some more battles brewing right now as Wiener's on the back of Margados. We got Stefano, 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Jerome off.
And Jerome is off as well.
Yeah, coming out of Junsao, I'm not sure. That's a really, really strange crash, to be honest. I didn't see it actually happen until we saw the yellow flag there, but Jerome, I'm not sure if he's had a brake failure or something, potentially. He's just went straight on, coming in towards Junsao at turn number 12, where often you normally turn left. He's either got caught on the outside curb, and he's spun, and he's gone in the wall, or he's just had a pure and utter brake failure. And I hope it's not the latter. If he retires now in the pit lane, it definitely probably will be. But he's into the pit lane.
He's still going.
Fresh set of hards on. And that is absolutely remarkable. I don't know how he's gone off, but you're on there right down the back end of the field. And the two-time PSGL champion in strife right down at the back of the field. Marquinhos leading, Wiener there in second. Rydell there in third. Looking through as well. Mubarak, by the way, also pitted in where Max did, and he's right on the back of Bolakongan. Bolakongan on a lap, all the tyres as well, so Bolakongan getting the overcut done compared to Mubarak. Mubarak looking quicker, though, on those tyres, as Bradders, I thought, was going to get the move done on Rydell. He's actually duped me into the pit lane, which is absolutely typical for the OP guys, and Marquinhos and Wiener still leading the way out on top. Alex there saying in the chat, did you know your own surname translates to Fisher? He's fishing for screen time with that instant pursuer.
Oh, no.
That is terrible. He is selling these drivers dirty with those puns, I'll tell you now.
And you said you weren't going to be saying any puns on the stream, and you just said it because you, well, you didn't make the puns, so I'll let you off, James. But
it's him, not me.
Yeah, it's him, not you as well. But loving the puns in chat. Some of them are not that creative, but let's see who can come with the best pun by the end of the season. I'm not good at puns in general. I'm rubbish with figure of speech. But anyway, top three, they're going to be thinking about pitting soon because their nearest rivals have pitted quite recently as well. We could see safety car.
Sorry to cut you off. On the back of Bolakongan, this is around the outside of turn number 9, trying to get the job done. That was a late lunge. It was a Jerry Van Bussel-esque move on the final lap of the race in the WR social race, but Max can't get the move done. Bolakongan, by the way, overtaken by Mubarak.
Yes, Bolakongan are down into 10th place for now, and we're seeing our leaders pitting. Marquinhos, Wiener, Rydell and Jensen are in the box seat, and they're going to be going on to a set of the medium compounder tyres, and I'm sure Jensen is going to be going on to another set of mediums as well. Yes, he does, as Morborak sets the fastest lap of this race. Morborak goes through turn number 1 now. Is he going to undercut them? Nope. He's going to undercut some people, but not others, as Morborak is going to be in 5th spot, and he's undercut Max by a mile, so he's got past Sam Gamer as well, who's still yet to pit, and I got a bit confused because obviously the top 3 still yet to pit, but Morborak, by the way, is your net race leader, as it stands. by quite some margin. So apologies about that. I thought he wasn't, but I got a bit confused.
It's fine. It's fine. I mean, I was even more shocked because Mubarak, on those 3-lap old mediums, has really put this to play. Brothers has just came into the pit lane. Wiener has just came in the pit lane, along with Markadors, and they're behind Stefano and Brothers. The overcut is so much more powerful than the undercut around this track. And we're seeing a three-way fight as well for 5th position right now. Sam Gamer on the back foot, really, compared to Max and Volokong, and it's certainly going to be 3 wide, I think, down the straight if Sam does not decide to come in the pit lane, which I think by now I think he should. But he's not going to. Volokongan is going to be let past, actually, by Sam. Very respectful driving there by the Canadian. And Volokongan now is trying to challenge Max in towards turn number 1. But yeah, without now net race leader, Jerry Van Bussel, if there's a man you want to try and perform a huge overcut for a set of soft compound tyres, it's him. He won, of course, 5 races in a row in F2 last season. The last man, of course, that I mentioned earlier on was Shazoo Tom in season 30 of F2. So, with that being said, as Bradders has just sold Sam Gamer for an absolute 1, coming to the left-hand to see the logo at turn number 4, and Bradders gets the job done on Sam Gamer. He's into 5th. Poor Sam Gamer. Feel sorry for him on those tyres. He really needed to come in the pit lane, I think, sooner rather than later, unless he's trying to get onto a set of softs. It's not going to work. He's going to be right down the back of the field.
Or potentially a safety car. We've had 1 in this race. We haven't had many more so far, but what we have seen is action in PSF1, and what we like is strategy. As Markados gets past Stefano for 7th spot, and he's going to get past Sam and Gamer, and it's going to be history repeats itself. Let's hope they don't make contact with each other. Could be 4 wide, guys. Don't make it 4 wide. This could end in tears like lap 1. Someone surely has got to back off. Luckily, quite a few people have backed off, actually, because otherwise it would have been disaster for all involved. But Wiener, fair play to them for trying to defend that. He's in 6th. Bradders is in 5th at the time being, as Bradders trying to get past Volokonga, but to no avail. But he's on the fresher rubber so far, so he could have a huge advantage past turn 5, heading towards Ferradura now. Nope, he's not going to go side by side there, but he could try and go around the outside if he's lucky. Again, he's not going to be doing so right now. Well, on lap 23 and 36, we want your predictions in the chat. Who do you think is going to win this race? Oh, I thought Bradders was going to go for an absolute send of dreams there, but he wasn't. Marlon gets past Sam Gamer up into 10th place. Sam Gamer's dropping way down the field, and unfortunately, on his PSGL debut, he's going to be out of the points. And we've got some battles going on.
Yeah, he nearly got hitbox actually coming out through Magulio at turn number 11, and he's really on the back foot. Blackbox and Kazizel are going to absolutely get through on him. And now look at the speed that Kazizel's carrying to the inside line on Blackbox. Blackbox in the end makes it look like a Blackbox, I think, down the straight towards turn number 1. Kazizel gets the job done. He's doing his into 10th. Blackbox there in 11th final point scoring position. Volokongan has made a slight mistake, and actually they're side by side, Bradders. And Volokongan running down the Retro Poster in towards the city. The logo was right on board with them. Volokongan can't get the job done. Bradders doing his into 3rd, and honestly, you asking for people's predictions, I'd be in the Bradders camp right now. He is looking so strong. Of course, he's one of only 2 drivers that have made it to Pro Exhibition. I believe the other one is Asacom, if I'm not mistaken. Bradders there in 3rd is looking so much better compared to Maxim Mubarak. He's on fresher rubber. He's on much fresher rubber compared to Markadors, to Volokongan. Markadors and Wiener might have a little bit of a struggle on to gain on Volokongan because he's looking quite quick as well. Bradders right now in the box seat, Max right on the back of Mubarak, and how on earth Max, by the way, has pulled off this absolute powerful overcut to go second from being on a set of softs and dropping down the field and being overtaken by Jensen halfway through the race. I do not know. He is a man of mystery, that man, and he's on the back of Mubarak running in towards turn number 1 is the Austrian.
Yes, he's in 2nd place, and I did say we could have miracles in Brazil, and Max is definitely going to pull off this miracle and show why he is the PSF1 champion from last season. Past turn 3, heading towards turn number 4. Can he do it this time? Nope, he can't. And bearing in mind, I'm just looking at the more black starting tags. We had a question from Waze in the chat. More black started on hards, then he went on to a set of softs, then he pitted for hards again and was near the back. And then he went on to a fresh set of mediums, and now he's on a fresh set of mediums again. So how on earth he's leading is absolutely insane. It shows the pace he's got. It might be Max actually. No, I don't know. It's hard to tell. No, I'm just going to try and see Max this time. Max did start on the softs. Okay, correction over. But yeah, Mulbrak started on hards, then softs, then hards, then mediums, and then he's on another set of mediums. So he's done 5 stops. But it might be my telemetry tool playing hooky for me at the moment. But Matt's going to go for the lead down the inside in towards turn number 1. The comeback king of dreams. He's going to try and upset the power go, and he does it. Matt is in the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix, and he's going to try and redeem himself from the Brazilian Grand Prix last season. As we got Bradders not that far behind too. Don't make it 3 wide. More bright to the outside of turn 4 of the Ciudad Largo. He stays behind your own, gets a 3-second time penalty. His race has gone from bad to worse, but the top 3 looks like they're even on pace. Max is struggling, was struggling on those softs, but he's absolutely loving it on those mediums. Maybe he shouldn't have put on a set of softs anyway. Maybe the mediums are a lot better. I found that on this game, to be honest. I found the mediums to be a lot better tyre life-wise, and I could get better pace on them. The softs don't last for me at all when I race on this game, probably because of my lack of ability. That's why I don't race much anymore, and I commentate more. But anyway, Max, he's matching the pace of Mulbrak and Bradders. And no, I don't want my monitor to switch off in 5 minutes. Thank you very much. As Bradders trying to go for a move now in towards turn number 1, as we got Rena and Markados also going for a move.
Yeah, Wiener around the outside of Markados, ran the outside of Sabina Dos Boxes. There's Mubarak to the inside line, gets the job done. Max, and actually Markados comes back down the inside of Wiener. Wiener's going to have to try and fight this. I'll tell you what, these OP guys, they breed differently, the Italian outfit, because their battles have been brilliant so far. Max is now on the back of Mubarak. That hallmark, by the way, in terms of his strategy, in terms of him on from a set of softs to a set of mediums, has TF Frankie written all over that. The Max, the defending champion there in second, on the back of Mubarak. Stefano getting into this race as well. Jensen Kazizel Marlon now involved in this. It's a 10-car train for the race lead on lap 27 out of 36, where I thought the top 3 were going to get quite dicey. The whole lot of them could get quite dicey, and I'm all for it. It's not going to get dicey.
Wow!
And that is a late lunge, and Bola Kongan, to be fair, gave him the room. Round the outside now through turn number 11 of Magulio, and he gets the job done. Brilliant stuff by the German in the Mercedes. Gets the job done. Mick Schumacher-esque, you could say. Markados Thuni's into 4th, ahead now of Bola Kongan. Wiener now on the front foot. He's attacking Bola Kongan down the straight, but this is going to get dicey. But still, 10 laps ago was Jensen passes Stefano down the straight, and Mubarak taking to the defensive line, and Max tries to go all the way around the outside. He can't, and Mubarak holds on to the lead, but this is getting dicey. I'm in for this.
Last season, it was the Talent Factory boys showing everyone what they're made of. This season, it seems to be outplayed racing. The OP guys doing a stellar job as Max trying to get past Mulbrak for the potential race win to take his first win of the season. Don't forget, he won the beginning race last season and he went on to win the title. So he's looking to repeat that tradition. And Alice is saying in the chat, is Max TF Max? Yes, he is. He was in Parnell for a bit and now he's back at Talent Factory. The same with Kian as well, as Jensen gets past Wiener once again. A very brave move as Gazizel trying to do exactly the same thing as what his teammate did. But Jensen trying to go around the outside in towards Jung Sao. No way. Surely this isn't going to be a move there heading towards the final few corners. That is absolutely crazy from Jensen, but we got a good entry speed from Wiener as we head towards turn number 15 for the 28th time. Wiener's got, I think, more ERS to play with. We've got a battle for the lead. Max goes to the inside of Mulbrak, and he takes the lead away from Mulbrak for the time being. This could be a big game of cat and mouse between those two. And look at these 4 cars. Markados, Jensen, Bola Kongan, Gazizel, Wiener. They're all fighting for the last podium spot. Mulbrak tries to the inside once again. And, they're going to fight once more. They're still going to go side by side. Bradders in this as well. I'm gutted that I didn't catch that. Mulbrak had the lead for a second, and then Max was like, no, you're not having that position. It's mine. Max is leading, and Markados is, oh my God, there's just so much. We can't keep up.
Weiss in the chat, I think, is summing it up. 10 calls for the race win. You don't see this in real life Formula 1. You don't. This is sim racing. And do you know what? If Ryan gets on the back of Marlon, it's a 14-car train for the race lead in Formula 1. on race 1 in season 34. This is unbelievable. Max leading the way, Mubarak in second, Bradders in third. It's just calming down slightly. Hopefully it doesn't too much, because we don't want everyone to go hell for leather and then end up in contact and then there's a safety car. We want really good action between them both. And speaking of action, here's Bradders on the back, and actually look at the speed of Bradders to the inside on Max in towards turn number 1. Going to take the race lead, the Alpine. Max going to invite him through the Alpha of the Aston Martin, and Mubarak tries to go around the outside as well. But Bradders there now retakes the lead. It might be the third different leader I think we've had in about as many laps. Max now coming back at Bradders down the straight. He's got the red fuel light on. Mubarak on this contact and there's right side wing plate damage. Late move from Max. Right side of plate damage from Mubarak. Absolutely unforgivable, I think, in terms of that. It didn't need to happen. It has happened. Mubarak, you've got to feel sorry for. The Padgold now down in 14th. His chance of winning the race absolutely ruined.
And he was on for his first win as well. He has not won a race in PSGL. He was looking like he was one of the favourites to win. He was having a really good fight with the likes of Max. But unfortunately, it's come to fruition and he's lost a lot of time due to that. His only hope is going to be a safety car. That is the only chance he's going to get into this. If I was him, maybe go on to a set of softs maybe, or just really hope and pray that a lot of other things can happen. But there's one driver that wants to spoil the party. Cazidle now tries to go to the inside now of his teammate. Are they going to fight, or is it going to be team orders? Looks like they're going to fight as Cazidle goes for a very late lunge in towards turn number 1. Jensen tries to close the door, but he to no avail, unfortunately, as Cazidle is up into form. He's going to be chasing for his first podium in a long time. Cazidle was struggling a bit last season compared to previous season. It's nice to see his true form, I have to say. F1 2021, he loved that game. I think this is a similar handling model to F1 2020, and he liked that too. So this is more of his style, and he's absolutely loving this Brazilian track too. And as we're about to start lap 32, the gap's all close as Jerry Van Bussel going for a late lunge past Ryan, and that was absolutely fantastic from him. At the moment, he's got the final point. No! Those two made contact, and unfortunately, that is game over for those. So I think it was Marlon as well that got involved.
It was indeed, yeah. Jerry Van Bussel, once is a charm, twice just too much, I think, for Jerry Van Bussel there. So unfortunate. He knew what he was doing. Marlon, to be fair, I think moved across on him slightly. There could have been more room given, but there's still action going on, because here comes Max once again on the back of Bradders towards the inside line of turn number 1. But the Red Bull's not going to fight. There's Marcados! Where's he come from? Marcados gets the job done, and Max absolutely from a bolt out of the blue, gets the job done. Cazidle now going around the outside of Max through to see through at Cover del Sol. Now in towards Retro Postman to see the Largo. Max right on the back of Marcados. Marcados shocking us in the commentary, and Max is forced off track by Marcados. This is getting absolutely out of hand up towards the front end of the field. Bradders there leading, Marcados in second, Cazidle there in third. All of this now possibly going to go to the stewards. Max down in 12th position, doesn't deserve to be there. Mubarak there down in 16th, doesn't deserve to be there. There's going to be a few penalties coming the way, whether you like it or not. It's Bradders that leads, Marcados in second, Cazidle in third. But these guys have got to prove themselves. This is the mentality now kicking in. This is the end of race. They all want to win. This is the end of race game now that they've got to play. They've just got to calm things down.
Yeah, I think there's people taking a lot too many risks, and some people treating it like an open lobby, to be honest. But for Bradders, he's doing an absolutely amazing job and driving absolutely sensational. But we can't comment too much. It's all going to be up to the stewards as Jerry Van Bussel gets past Stefano. Very nicely done. Up in a 2-7 position. Get your predictions in the chat. Who is going to win this race? We've got Bradders in first, Marcados second, Cazidle and Jensen third and fourth. Vola Kongan up into fifth. Reno, unfortunately, dropped down into sixth. Marcados could try and get Bradders here in and towards the Largo turn 4, which he doesn't. They're all on the medium tyres. The only one's not on mediums is Sam Game on a set of soft. Same with Mulbarak in the background. He's going to try and get fastest lap. You only get fastest lap point if you're inside the top 10. So he's going to go for glory points and to make sure no one else steals that fastest lap point. So we've still got 13 cars in a shot for this race victory today, but they got to just keep it a little bit cleaner. We know it's the opening round of the season, but it's a long season ahead. If they mess it up on this one, they've got a lot of work to do going into the next round in Bahrain. Thank goodness we're not going to Las Vegas, because I think we would have been an absolutely chaos race coming up. I commentated on the Las Vegas race and it was absolutely brilliant, by the way. But with these drivers, I don't think it would end well. Anyway, heading towards the final few stages of the race as we head on lap 34 36. Margados to the inside, maybe. Not much space. I think he almost tapped Bradders by the looks of things as well, but he was like, no, you don't want to cause too much trouble tonight. It's Cazillo well on the back of this as well. A few people got plenty of EOS, but a few people are struggling with their battery right now. And I think there's a few people in the chat saying Jensen could win potentially as well. It is still possible. Jensen has won here before as well. With the penalties that could factor some drivers maybe. Jensen can be up there potentially. He won on penalties last season as well to Margados. So we'll see what he can do in these final stages of the race. But this is insane from Bradders. Challengers driver. He was in F2 as well, and he's improved as the game went on last season, and he's deserved that promotion. The last time someone came from a promoted tier up to F1 to win the race was Max last season in Spain. We're going to see exactly the same here, but potentially with Bradders. But are the F1 veterans about to spoil the party?
Potentially so, yeah. Marcados is really chomping at the bit on the back of Bradders. I think he's going to have to wait, though, for the move. In fact, no, he's not. There he goes to the inside line, in towards turn number 1. I thought Marcados might have waited. Oh, there's a Ferrari in the background. That's Jerry Van Bussel to the inside line on Wiener, and tries to get the job done to the inside line on 1. Doesn't get the job done. Might get it out the cover del Sol at turn number 3. Bradders now is in the perfect position as Jerry Van Bussel, once again, still on the back of Wiener, still on the inside line. Van Bussel hustles up the 6th position, tries to get the job done to the inside line. Wiener on the outside line, forced out of road, forced out of room, and Jerry Van Bussel hustles his way to the 6th position with a little bit of contact, may I add, as well. But Jerry Van Bussel on his way through, and he's in a very similar position to what he was in the WR social race, and he's better get done. Wiener to the inside line as well, and Wiener now makes a bit of contact. Jerry Van Bussel, this is getting personal between them both.
Oh, no.
And on track with this bit of contact, they've got to watch out because Ryan's in behind in this as well. The Haas is playing double game in terms of contact. More from wing damage, I think. Was that from behind, I think? I think that might have been from Marlon.
That was the Haas that lost a bit of his front wing, I think.
It was, yeah. Marcados, you're totally right. Leading the way from Bradders in second, Cazillo there in third. 6/10 of a second, and Marcados now is beginning to fly. 30% of ERS now onto the final lap of the race. Bradders, Cazillo still trying to hang on. Ryan still having his personal ding-dong with Jerry Van Bussel to the inside line at turn number 1, but he still can't get the job done. Marlon, my word, around the outside. Stefano trying to get the job done. If he pulls this off, I'll give him a 5 of myself. But Stefano and Blackbox now involved in this as well. And Blackbox to the inside line. Pretty much like Jerry Van Bussel. It's 3 wide in towards the seat of the Largo. Blackbox to the inside line. Trinid pull off the move. Marlon around the outside. How on earth they haven't made contact through there, I do not know. Blackbox has got both of them, and now Ryderdale's involved in this as well. Max has lost a position out of all of this as well. This is crazy. Ryderdale on the back of Marlon. Can't find the way through. Max there in 13. My word, what a race. Mark still lead Bradders second. Final quarter of a lap to go.
Here comes Marcados as well, but we still could have a battle for the win on our hands as we head towards Zhongshan for the final time. Marcados may be investigated by the stewards, but he has led this race for quite a bit so far. He's about to lap someone else as well. Marcados is continuing where he left off last season and is going to be your championship leader. Marcados wins the opening round here in Brazil by 1/10 of a second. Bradders in seconds on a superb debut in the F1 tier. Cazillo in third, Jensen fourth, Wiener, a good debut with him in fifth, Jerry in at sixth, and we got Ryan, Blackbox, Marlon and Ryderdale by 5/100ths of a second. Just misses out in P9, but he gets some points at the end of it. Max, what a shame to miss out on points. Same with Olakongan. Stefano as well. Sam, what could have been for him? He started third, but it's his debut. He's got a lot to learn. Then we got more back and Jerome. The final 2 unlucky victims who was involved in incidents that weren't their fault is about to cross the line. But Marcados wins in Brazil. But the stewards, I feel sorry for Louis, are going to be very, very busy in the next few days.
They are indeed, and yeah, whether or not that race win gets kept, because Marcados, of course, forced Max, I think it was, off the track coming out through turn number 4 at the Cida del Lago into the exit of the corner, and Marcados forced him out of track there, forced him onto the grass, dropped him down into, 13th position, I think it was, and Marcados, there is a little bit of tangent about whether he will keep this race win. I wouldn't like to be a steward right now, I've got to be honest. But for now, Marquez is the winner. And up until that moment, he drove a phenomenal race. I think it just gives him that little bit of doubt potentially in terms of whether he is going to keep the race win. Jerry Van Bussel awarded Driver of the Day, awarded by the in-game fans. But we will soon see the top 3 getting on to the top step of the podium. And that top step of the podium currently goes to Marquez. Brad is there in second. Do you know what? If that race was about 50 yards longer, I think Bradders would have got him down and towards turn number 1 and would have actually stolen the race win. But Marquez takes the race win out on track. It's a double podium as well for Alfa Romeo, I believe, as well. If I'm not mistaken, we'll confirm that. I think somebody might be having me on in terms of the comment section with Jensen and Kazizel. Might be because of the penalty for Marquez, I think, is why the comment is being said there. Actually, Neil doing me dirty there in the comments. But top 3 to the top step of the podium. Marquez takes the race win. Whether or not he keeps it, though, remains to be seen. And I mean, look at that. The end of 36 laps to be celebrated by a 1/10 of a second is mad.
That is insane. And I think Bradders, he's still got, I think, a race win in him. If he doesn't get the race win from this one, he's surely going to get a race win this season with that pace he's shown. Incredible. And he was even faster than Marquez in that lap. So we've got Marquez, Bradders, Cazidel, Jensen, Wiener, Jerry Van Bussel, Ryan Blackbox, Marlon, Ryder down your top 10. And we got Matt Fowler, Congan, Stefano, Sam Gamer, Mulbrat, Jerome, your finishers. And we've had 4 retirements, which was Luca Carr later on in the race, and then Tim, Yossi, and Nando Jr. all retired, unfortunately, on lap number 1. And we have got plenty of action still to come this season, and we haven't even finished it yet. We're still on round number 2 next week. But obviously, Jerry got the in-game driver of the day, as voted for by the in-game fans. James, who has been your driver of the day?
Driver of the day, I think it's really hard, to be honest. I mean, given some of the action that we saw toward the back end of the race there, Jerry Van Bussel flew through the field. Yes, there was that bit of contact with Wiener. Yes, there was that bit of a dive bomb early on in the race as well. But he might deserve that drive of the day. He drove very well. 18th on the grid, I think up to, 5th, 6th position, I think, in the end. Drove a fantastic race. In the end, though, I'm going to have to go, I think, with Marquez. Up until that point where he made contact with Max, Marquez was driving a solid race. He was having a fantastic fight with Bradders. I wish we got to see that battle between himself and Max, because it would have been really interesting. And if we did, who knows how the result might have ended up. But for me, I know it's going to be pretty controversial in the comments, but I'm going to go Marquez for my driver of the day. But, as we mentioned already, it looks like he might get a penalty with that instance.
And you can obviously keep up to date with all things social media as well at Premier SimGL to keep up to date with all the results, because we have access to who reports who. And once the stewards' results are out, I'm definitely going to tweet on my Twitter the final results if things change. So make sure you keep an eye out on that. But if it doesn't change, then Marquez will have a very healthy lead going into round number 2 of Bahrain. I'm trying to see if there's anyone rating in the rating room. Yes, we do. We have Marquez rating in the booth. He is our provisional winner, of course. We have to call him that currently as well. And you could have waited until I went to the interview screen before you dragged him in, James. But we're all good. So, Marquez, can you hear us? I don't think Marquez can hear us.
He can't. Unless we go in the waiting room.
We might as well, but we have to. So Marquez, if you could hear us but we can't hear you, we'll try and go in the waiting room and see what happens. So I'll try and go in there now. And Marquez, can you hear us?
Yes, no.
Yes. Okay. We fixed it. So we'll go in the rating room next time for you. Marquez, congratulations! Your first win provisionally in this season as well on F1 23, continuing where you left off last season. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, over happy. So. My heart rate is incredibly high. So yeah, I'm incredibly happy that I provisionally won this race, like last season. So yeah, unbelievable for me at the moment.
Yeah, it just goes to show that you really do like this track. And recently, obviously, you moved from TF10 to your new team at Outplayed Race. You got a lot of talented drivers there as well. How has it been with those drivers? Because it seems to me it's really helped you with your pace.
Yes and no, but I think it's really important to have a strong team behind someone. So yeah, I'm really thankful to drive for OP, and yeah, I'm looking forward to do with them, and we will see what the future brings.
Yeah, and you did say in our driver's thoughts that you do enjoy the game quite a lot as well, which definitely helps. And you said that you wanted to win that tonight, and you did that as well. And your main goal this season, top 5 in the championship. Well, at the moment, you're going to be leading the championship. Is that expectation going to change, do you think?
No.
No, so you're still going to aim for top 5 in the championship. Playing it safe. Well, sometimes playing it safe works quite well as well. You had some interesting fights as well between the likes of Bradders and Max as well, and you're all separated by, I think, less than a tenth throughout the entirety of that race. Obviously, your heart rate was going as well. Was it hard to manage your ERS at that point?
After the pit stop, yes. I was a long time without, well, not with a lot ERS. Also, then I have Wiener behind me, and it was not easy for me. But yeah, I knew that I have the better tires at the end, and I felt really, really comfortable on the mediums. So yeah, a little bit contact, but yeah, I think everything was still okay. Don't know. Yeah, we see. But yeah, for now, I'm just happy I won it on track. So yeah.
Perfect. And obviously with Vegas no longer on the calendar, it gives me the perfect pleasure to ask you this question now. With Vegas not on the calendar, what is your new least favourite track on the calendar out of the tracks that are announced currently? Or are you just going to wait until the other tracks are released to make that decision?
Yeah, I'll be waiting, but yeah, Bahrain is the baddest track from these 5 tracks. So it's not the best for me.
Okay, so you're going to say Bahrain. Okay, I think a lot of people are going to be saying Bahrain. I think there's a lot of PC drivers in the lower tiers that are not happy that it's Bahrain instead of Vegas, but there we go. James, any questions for our race winner?
Yeah, one question from me. Obviously, we saw a bit of contact that you had, I think, with Max, and you forced him off, I believe, off track. Did you recognise that it was there on the outside, or was it just a last-minute decision and you didn't realise it was there?
No, I know that he was there, but yeah, I think he was behind me. I think he have enough space, but I know if you touch the grass on the right side, then you are a passenger, so you can't do nothing. So yeah, don't know. I must look at the video from my side, and then I decide.
Yeah, I mean, from our point of view, certainly it was, I think, about half a car length, I think, in between you and Max. And I think it was just a bit of unfortunate contact. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see if he does report. And final question for me as well before I hand it back over to Jess. Bahrain next week. You've already said you absolutely detest the track, let's just say. How do you think you're going to get on around there?
Yeah, practicing. So we will see how it comes to me. With a good setup, maybe it's a good track for me, but yeah, I doesn't like this track, but yeah, maybe I find some tents that help me.
Well, with the OP team behind you, I know miracles definitely can and probably will happen. Congratulations on the race win. Jess, anything else?
No other questions for me, but congratulations on the provisional race win. Let's see if you can keep it, of course, but if you do, you'll be leading the championship, and a great start going into round 2 next week. Best of luck for the rest of the championship.
Thanks, Jess and James. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Marcos, our first race winner of the season, as both of us are going to go into the rating room now, because otherwise my cameras, comms box 1, because otherwise my cameras are going to mess up completely. That was a very smooth transition, nicely done. But to sum up, quite a crazy race from start to finish. A lot has happened. A lot of stuff that went wrong, but a lot of really great battles and brave battles that went right.
Yeah, there was a lot of bravery and a lot of gusto, let's just say, I think, shown out on track with some of the battles. There were fantastic overtakes throughout the race. We saw the battles with batters, of course, Jerry Van Bussel making his way through the race a little bit later on in the race as well. It sets up, I think, for a really great season. Season 34, I think, is well and truly now in the brain and in the mix. And, of course, we've got Bahrain next week. And then followed by the home of British motorsport at Silverstone, Qatar and Austria to come. And then to be announced the final 6 or 7 rounds of the championship up towards the end of the season, a round of 11. I think tonight sets the tone of what could be, potentially, a very, very good season. And already defending champion Max on the back foot.
Yeah, which is a bit of a shame, unfortunately, but there's still 10 more races still to go of the season 34 season. We've seen champions come from lower down before in the championship and they go on to win it in general. So it's not over for Max, it's not over for anybody, but for some of these drivers, they got to keep it cleaner, because otherwise their races are not going to last long and they're probably not going to get as many points. But for quite a lot of drivers, their best races overall in PSGL, and I really enjoyed it. But thank you so much to all of you for joining us for the first round of PSGL PSF1 for season 34. I certainly enjoyed it. Make sure you give a like on the video, hit subscribe button, hit that bell if you are new to watch more PSGL content. We got another stream on Wednesday at 7 o'clock UK time for PCF1. We got Jack Canal, no George Morgan on Wednesday, I don't think, but we got Chris Buxton joining in the commentary box, and then we got the PC lower tiers as well joining us on Thursday, and then we got us again on Monday at 8 p.m. Make sure you follow us on Discord as well, Instagram and Twitter at PremierSimGL. Make sure you check out our sponsor, GT Omega, with those really amazing chairs. Lovely on cue, James. That's lovely and sexy. We're not twins, by the way. We're not showing telepathy. But yeah, make sure you check out our sponsor, GT Omega. 5% off all GT Omega products by using the code PSGL at checkout. Amazing chairs, super comfy. And to be honest, my back hasn't been kidding me at all because of these chairs. So thank you very much to them for providing us chairs for the last few seasons. Thank you to all you for watching. Thanks to all the drivers for racing. We're going to end it there. Make sure you stay tuned. Same time, same place next week at 8 o'clock for the Bahrain Grand Prix. And we'll leave you with the very capable hands of a GT Omega for one final time. Goodbye.
He's got the inside off here, he's through on the left hand side. Hooks the apex, gets on the power nicely, and that is job done. Jarno Opmeer now to the last couple of corners now. His finest drive, his greatest drive, and he's done it at the Circuit of the Americas. He returns to the top step of the podium. Once again, the ghost is back. Jarno Opmeer wins the US Grand Prix in a stunning Grand Prix.